So thanks for having us here to share our story. So we have a member value problem. And so yeah, do you say we're from Canada yet? Should I speak in a different, you can hear me and understand, right? Okay, good. Okay, so we have the Canadian Credit Union Association, and they did a national awareness study, and they found lots of interesting things, but the one thing that was very concerning for us is that 72% of people who deal with a credit union also deal with another financial institution. You're nodding. Yeah. Whereas if you deal with a bank, there's only like 44% of them that actually deal with another financial institution. So clearly we're missing some sort of member value that we should be delivering. Oh, so we believe that we need to transform ourselves so that we're a needs-based sales culture. And I think somebody mentioned earlier that we shouldn't be selling, and I would 100% disagree with that. We need to be selling, and that's been part of the problem with credit unions is we've just been sitting back and letting people come in because back in the day, they couldn't get what they needed somewhere else, but now they can, and we need to be able to ask for that business. Okay, so the other problem that we have is we're dealing with urbanization. So 25% of our members live outside of the region where our branches are. We are not seg-based in Canada, right? So we can serve a member anywhere across the country. And we also have 84% of all of our transactions happening mobile or online. So I don't really know when we see our members to really get to know what they need or how they're banking. So obviously, data analytics is the solution. And so, contrary to what Ron said, his middle of his speech there seemed pretty dismal, but yeah, there is a bit of hope. We are a $1 billion credit union, and no, we're not becoming like a bank. Kirk, I don't know where you guys are, as soon as you get to be a billion, you're bank-like. That's not true at all. We do have a strategy, we have money, and we're actually pretty smart, and we're smart enough to know that we needed to outsource and partner in order for us to be good at data analytics. So that's where Solero comes in. They're our IT partners, so they look after our network, our firewall, and primarily they look after our banking system. They introduced us to OnApproach, and those are the people who now we're working with to give us the tools to help us to really use our data. So it might not be innovative, I guess, but for us, we, in less than 2 years, I'd say about 18 months, we have the foundations of a data warehouse, we have predictive analytics, and we have a 360-degree member view, which, if you think about it, I'm assuming you guys are similar to us, but we have very disparate systems, not like the banks where they can just keep building everything on. So we have a separate LOS system, a banking system, credit card system, insurance system, our wealth data, not including any of the economic demographic information we'd like to overlay and any social media. That's all separate information, right? So for us to get a data warehouse that we can start building into in less than 18 months is amazing. I worked for a $4 billion credit union, and it took them 5 years. And I'll turn it over to Lori.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to walk through a little bit of the solution that we've got with the Member 360 dashboard. So as Jody mentioned, really this is the base platform in that it really provides us with additional insight, more insight than we've ever had on our members, as it gives us a holistic understanding of that member. It gives us insight into their financial needs, their behaviors, and so on the screen is a snapshot, and within this Member 360 dashboard, it's really a one-stop shop for our employees to really understand that full relationship. So in here is where all that third-party vendor information will be integrated. It identifies things like an engagement score, an attrition score, the next best product, so it uses predictive analytics to help us provide the advice to members based on that member's transaction behavior, their needs. It integrates notes, member story, even external transactions that are going out of their account, so we can see what those other financial institutions are, those missed opportunities in which those members are not choosing to do business with us. It tells us a little bit of insight about their channel usage, transaction history, and alerts. So I'm going to dig into that a little bit more. So with that, one of the challenges for our credit union is, again, with an aging demographic or membership base, it's as important for us to retain every single member that we have, just as it is to attract new members. So previously, we had a lagging indicator as we could see when members had left us, but it was too late. And so what we have built in is an attrition score to identify who those members that are at high risk to attrite or leave our organization before they actually leave. So again, there's some algorithms behind that identifies some of the changes in that member's behavior that we can then proactively get in front of that member and try to retain that business. As well, there's an engagement score. Similar, it's going to help us, or it helps us identify members who may not be as engaged as they once were, and it gives us an opportunity to do some outreach with those members. Again, these are members that we may never ever see in our branches, so it's an opportunity for us to connect with them and re-engage them. There's the next best product. This is one that our staff are loving because it really helps do some of the work for them. So it identifies those products, that specific member is most likely to purchase so that we can better cross-sell and upsell to those members based on that individual relationship. So what that allows us to do as well as some targeted marketing is we're able to provide or to produce reports, if we want to identify, who are those people that are most likely to purchase a mortgage and conduct a campaign to help fuel growth for our organization. As well, the member external transaction activity, again, this is insight that we had, but it would take our staff significant time to dig into that member's account to determine where else it is that they are doing business or where those missed opportunities are. And so what this identifies is on a monthly basis, at a glance, they can determine where else are they doing business, and it gives us an opportunity to get in front of that and have better conversations with those members and earn the right to that business. So what are some of the benefits? So of course, being a credit union, it's all, we wanted to do something that provides some benefit to our members and impact to their well-being. So what this does is it gives us the insight to provide better advice to meet that member's needs based on, the insights that we have and the behaviors and trends that they have conducted. As well, we were really good at being reactive as order takers, and now this is providing us the ability to be proactive and out in front of those members and providing them better advice, in some cases before they even think that they need it. It uses outside data to help spot trends, not only with that specific member, but it also gives us insight to make better decisions for our organization. And it integrates and aligns with our credit union values. We want to provide the best advice that we can to all of our members along their journey, and what this does is it helps us to better understand that individual member to provide them the advice that they're looking for. So benefits to the credit union, of course, this is going to enhance member engagement, as that's one of the key focus areas that we have built into this product. Assist with member attrition, so again, it allows us to get in front of those members before they're actually leaving our organization. And it provides opportunities for us. So this is going to help identify those opportunity areas or areas that we have some growth opportunities with individual members or individual branches to identify where are those opportunities so we can do a better job of getting at them and targeting those specific members. Provides value to our members as it helps us provide the advice that they're looking for in their credit union. And one of the benefits as well is when we're integrating all of this information into the Member 360, it also gives us significant operational reporting that we're able to drill down from, every level, from organization to branch down to service officer, so we can slice and dice that information any which way, and that's not something that we've always had at our fingertips. And last, what are the benefits to the credit union industry? So of course, significant opportunity for us to increase the wallet share that we have with our members. It's giving us improved and additional insight into our business, more than we've ever had before. It's going to help us, fuel growth, which again is going to help us become more profitable as a credit union. And one of the ones that I love is that it really helps us better serve our members and give them the advice that they need. And on the flip side of that, it's actually building employee confidence because we're presenting the information to our staff that gives them, the insight that they need to provide the advice that our members are looking for. So it's a win-win for both our staff and our members. And so with that, we'll open it up for questions.
So this is really powerful stuff. I love analytics, like everybody else here, I presume. How quickly are you able to react to the data that you get? And how timely is it? And how quickly do you react to things like attrition or next best product?
So the data feed is done on a daily basis. And so those algorithms on next best product, on attrition, are constantly being run on the back end as well. So we are able, I mean, there's different ways, but we're able to pull those reports. It's not something we're doing daily, but we've talked about, we need to be doing especially attrition, because that can change fairly significantly. So weekly, some maybe monthly. One of the challenges that we have is now we have so much information at our fingertips, and so that's one of the things that we're still working through, is the frequency to make sure that we're able to effectively get in front of some of this stuff.
So I get really excited about this stuff too. What kind of results are you seeing, particularly in terms of cutting down attrition?
Okay, well, so it's only been 18 months. And exactly what Lori said is we're trying in front of our staff. And so when somebody talked earlier about what do you need in order to create a culture that uses data analytics, you definitely need a culture change. It's a huge impact on the organization, and they are frustrated with all the operational things that they have to do, and then you give them lists to clean up, and then you give them lists that they need to call on mortgage renewals, and then, oh, by the way, these might be members who could be leaving, could you also please call them? And so that's what we're working on right now, is trying to find where do we place those outreach calls so they're most effective. The good part is that they're good lists, because they're using the data analytics and we're not wasting our time, but it's how do we integrate it. I would say the best success we've had so far is the external transaction information, because from a small rural environment, everybody who worked in those branches were like, I know all my members, they're my neighbors, they do everything with us, and then when we put up the information on members and where they had a dealer finance loan, where they had their investments going, they couldn't believe it, but that's my neighbor, she's always been dealing here, and guess what? They're not. So we've had major success with sitting in front of a member and we see where they're dealing elsewhere. And you don't necessarily say, oh, we know you're at Royal Bank, but we're like, hey, do you have investments somewhere? How's that going? It's very good.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much, ladies. Impressive stuff, impressive stuff. Well done, well done. Yay.